It's Good Friday and you're tuned into The Issues with Ben and Deage.
We're back!
So, Deage, would you like to explain to our listeners how the show actually works?
Okay, the show is called The Issues, where we tackle the real issues, not sort of serious politics or religion or any of that sort of rubbish. We tackle real issues like, why is the sky blue and why did God make me ginger?
I don't think you can blame God for that, but it was definitely worth a try.
That was said with like bitterness, just pure burning bitterness.
So yes, we will be going through a lot of issues today, so if you have an opinion on any of these, just remember that you can actually email into the show, which is just by going onto the website, which is www.anyonefm.net, and clicking on the contact tab. You can also text us by starting your message with the letters any and the number 1, so anyone, plus your message to 60300.
Wow, you've got such a smooth voice, Ben.
I have been practicing alone in my room. Story of my life.
Good. Should we crack on with the first issue of the day? Let's get rolling on this Good Friday. Cause I know
Great Friday. Is that sacrilege?
I don't know. I don't care, really.
Let's get on with it.
First issue of the day. What are the advantages of having detachable body parts?
I was saying, have you seen that film 127 Hours?
I have.
I haven't seen it, but
that film would be a lot shorter.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying, I haven't seen it, but the concept's a guy gets his arm trapped in a rock and he has to cut his own arm off. Detachable, just walks away, gets a taxi, he's fine.
And it'd be a rubbish film where just this guy just going, well, my arm's over there somewhere, I don't know. I mean, I think if arms were detachable, they wouldn't be long before we start replacing them with better things, you know, like... Essentially, all men want is one hand to eat things with and one hand to scratch themselves.
Are you saying that hooks are better than hands? Is that what you're saying?
All I'm saying is Captain Hook never had an itch. That's
yeah, but a lot of holes in his legs and stuff.
I think when you say detachable body parts, men would sort of jump to like sexual use.
Keep it decent.
I know it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to keep it decent. But that's the thing that I'm sure if any men are actually listening out there, that the first thing in their head was to sort of jump to some vague sexual use, like.
I mean, well, what I like is do you know when you really need the toilet, and then someone usually says like, "Will you go to the toilet for us?" You literally could. That'd be brilliant.
I just like the idea of just a man going to his wife, just let me whole parts of you while the other parts of you gets on with tasks.
Gets on with that. That's brilliant. I like the thought of do you know like Thing from the Addams Family, the hand.
Yeah.
I like that. If your hand could do that, it would be brilliant. You know, could go collect the mail, make you a sandwich.
Scratch places that can't reach.
All yours are based on scratching. It's a bit worrying. Are you an itchy person? Are you trying to tell us something?
I think would get you out of a lot of things as well if someone really carry me shopping. Sorry, I've got no arms. It's a great excuse. You know.
That's just an excuse to be really lazy, and I like that.
And I think also make tattooing a lot easier. Just detach your arm. Just you work on that for an hour.
I'll come pick it up in 4 hours time.
I'm go over a pint.
That's actually genius.
I think the downside of that obviously would be sort of people stealing body parts. Not in a sort of like grave robbing kind of way, but in a more of a way sort of. You know, remember in school when someone would steal your ball and chuck it over your head and stuff like that?
Or your bag, yeah.
If someone did
God, we were so bullied as children.
If someone did that with your arm...
yeah, that's my arm, man.
You can't even catch it if they do. If you do, man, you can't get purchase, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the moral things.
I like the idea of having taken your arm off and using it to reach things that are further away.
Oh, great. Stealing someone else's pint, that would just be great, you know?
Yeah, just casually leaving it.
I think we've ran that dry. If there's any listeners out there with detachable body parts, please feel free to write independently to what you're doing. I don't know.
What are you talking about? Yes, so the next issue that we'll have for the day is if you could fight any animal, what would it be and why? I mean,
we'll have to just sort of break this down and think of the reasons why you would want to think, like, go on a fight with an animal. Personally, mine would be a pigeon. I would love to fight a pigeon just because they're so smug. Pigeons are the smuggest animal.
They don't even move out the way, especially in Newcastle. Like, you walk past them and they just look at you like, have you got anything for us? No.
Do you know what pigeons remind me of? Do you know them guys you see? I don't know if anyone's been to the Beehive in Newcastle, but you just walk in, you can kind of smell bigotry. You know that kind of bar?
Yeah.
You know, they're all bald with scorpions on their face and... I mean, we're seeing that of personal experience.
Yeah,
because
he doesn't mean tattoos. I mean, they literally have trained a scorpion to stay still on the face.
just staring it out so it doesn't move.
An attack scorpion.
But pigeons remind me of those, kind of guys that just sit there for like 16 hours in a pub and just sort of just really aggressive towards everyone for no reason. Like, what? I've been in like the Haymarket before in like ridiculous clocking months. This one pigeon stand there with one leg just looking hard, and just go. And if it was legal, I would kick that pigeon in the face.
I mean, if I was going to fight an animal, I would definitely try and pick something small I'm guaranteed to win against.
A hamster.
Hamster, yeah, exactly. There's no fight. I mean, why we're fighting an animal? Is it just fighting, or is it like wrestling? Because I mean, if it was wrestling, I'd wrestle like a gorilla, because that would just be fun.
Well, maybe if the gorilla wasn't trained to kill you.
Yeah, I was saying if we're like wrestling, like a chair shot to a gorilla, it's brilliant.
I think it's the reason behind why I want to like fight an animal. Like personally, if I was going to go for victory, I'd fight a lion. Like because if you say you fought a lion and won, then women are going to be all over you and. No man is ever going to mess with you.
Have you heard about Deage? He killed a lion.
It's that kind of thing, just sort of...
If anyone could pull off, like, really wild hair and call it a mane, it's you.
Ginger joke earlier.
I'm getting them in early. In fact, actually, we've got an email, which is in relation to our last subject about detachable body parts, and it's from comedian Al McWilliams saying, could Deage have detachable ginger Lego hair? In his dreams, maybe in his dreams.
That would have been detached a long time ago.
Yeah, detached and binned.
There'd be no factory model for that. It's not a great summer.
Back on topic though, for like animals, I would animal I really hate, like with a burning passion, is swans. Because swans are horrible creatures. They're really horrible. I mean, I stood idly by on a family day out while one came and stole my ice cream. Just casually came up, I'm having that. A swan will kill you for a cornetto.
Did you punch the swan in the face?
No, but the necks, I mean, how satisfying would it be to snap a swan's neck?
I love the idea that if you go to snap a swan, the queen will jump out of a bush like a ninja.
She actually does. She just guards them first hand.
And just twists your neck and you just drop to the floor. But
yeah, and she just slowly drags me into the water.
Pretty boy!
Hides the body and moves on.
That's sort of like, because obviously you're fighting out of here. I mean, I think certain animals are just absolute douchebags, like wasps. Everybody hates wasps.
Everybody hates wasps.
Wasp is the kind of animal that would go to like a school and you just beat them with soap in a pillowcase. That's that kind of douchebag.
Wasps. I don't even think they serve purpose. They don't even make honey, do they? That's just. But I hate wasps. I've had one on my shirt before. Like not two choices and we're like, come on in, friend. No, but like
welcome in a wasp into your.
I have had one in my shirt in the middle of PE and I just ran around in a circle crying and screaming because I'm that kind of a man. I was 20 at the time.
It's what you do.
With the issues with me, Ben Messenger, and co-host Deage Paxton. We were originally going to do a show called The Tissues, but unfortunately the sponsorship deal with Andrex fell through.
Oh, God, Ben, honestly. Like, these puns just get worse every show.
Yes, they do.
It's like... It's not even bad. I'm just disappointed in you. You let everybody know.
just you in person. Yeah, that is awkward. We've actually received another email from Al McWilliam, the comedian, saying if you could fight any animal, which was our last topic, it would be Animal from Legion of Doom, the old wrestlers.
I think
I'll see what he's done there.
This is older than my generation.
Yeah.
Because I think as soon as you start reading the email, people couldn't say this, but Ben had a huge smile on his face, as if like he went down memory lane.
God, I don't watch wrestling now or anything, but I used to love the old '90s wrestling. I just love the figures. I used to have Animal and Hawk or them other days. I like what he's done though. He's thinking outside the box with animals. That's the equivalent of like.
I think you can tell what generation people are by the wrestlers they'll remember. Like my generation was like kind of Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker, whereas you're just...
Well, no, my generation was still The Undertaker because he's 1,000,000 years old.
There's about 3 nerds that got that.
Yeah,
got that reference.
Yeah, that was for Al and no one else. Really.
Should we move on to the next issue even?
Yes, I think it's if you could combine 2 films into one, what would you combine?
So it's by that you mean sort of if you could merge 2 films for sort of
one super film.
For the consequences of that. Personally, I like the idea of combining Schindler's List and Rambo. I think that'd be a great film. Like just a horrible, like a great twist on the World War. That sort of just carnage everywhere. I don't know if you've seen Schindler's List, but it's so depressing. But if Rambo was there, he'd sort that out in a minute, you know.
Yeah, it would be a massacre, but not in the kind of awkward way.
He would have to be called like Rambowski or something, you know.
Rambowski.
Or something like that.
Oh, they. Brilliant. I'd like to replace Starsky and Hutch with the Elephant Man in Forrest Gump. And then you could just have them, you know, like take down a drug ring, but it would just take like 4 times as long. The film would actually be in 17 parts. It would be such a slow mover.
That'd be great.
Imagine they wouldn't have a really cool car, but more of a bus.
I've just had like a proper JD moment, you know, on Scrubs, you know, and it just tilts your head and you just go, yes.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
I will watch that. Twilight and Blade. I think we've talked
Oh
about,
my god, yes.
because I hate the Twilight films.
Yes.
Like, do you know when you get like a ball of burning rage in your stomach just every time someone mentions something, and it's like that to the point where I'd just love to see Wesley Snipes just come at the end and just go, "Well, you're not evaporating in the dust." Bang,
Yeah.
samurai to the face.
Yeah, is your diamond chest knife proof? We'll see. I'd imagine so.
I think Wesley Snipes could take them both down.
Yeah.
Very easily.
I would watch that. No, I'd watch that on repeat.
Just the bit where he dies.
I'd watch that with, you know, like the kind of average Twilight fan who's like, you know, what's the word? A girl with low self-esteem.
Yeah, probably. I think we've been down a very dark route. I'm going to try and let's.
That actually does lead us on to
I mean, I'm still thinking. I've still got a few more films.
Brilliant. Let's keep going with that then.
Star Wars and Mr. Bean. I think.
In what way that is?
Just the fact that Darth Vader will come in all sort of morbid, like, oh, you need to use those, and Mr. Bean's just like, just like falling over his lightsaber and stuff, you know, and he's great. I think the last one I had written down.
I do like that. I like the idea of him trying to park his mini in front of like the Millennium Falcon. Just
oh, Teddy! That'd be great. I think the last one that I had, that sort of, I really want to say, was Terminator and High School Musical. Just obliteration, a massacre of just douchebags.
I was going to say all of yours are just teen stars who women adore and you want them dead.
It's pretty much just who really annoys me and how I would like
on
them
this
to
week's
die.
episode of Bitter Jealousy with Deage.
Right, let's move on before we'll go down.
Well,
very
I mean,
dark route.
like I say, we were talking about the horrible weirdos on Twilight. It kind of leads on to our next one, which is which you said, which is really weird. I'm not taking the bullet for this one. It's who would you trust more, a zombie or a vampire? Trust to do what, you mentalist?
Well, in my head, I had just sort of in everyday situations, you know, because I think immediately you said, well, obviously vampires, because vampires have some sort of consciousness and they're not just animals. But no, because
no, zombies aren't animals, but they're
vampires. I mean, a zombie is scary, but vampires are creepy.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's kind of like,
I know, but like you could talk down at a vampire. Plus, if it's a Twilight one, you could distract them with, you know, like a girl who has no personality.
Half naked Justin Bieber.
Yeah, exactly. I think if there was ever a vampire I could win a fight against, it's the Twilight ones. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'm tough. I'm just saying I could punch that Edward guy in the face quite happily for the rest of my life.
I mean, the thing is, zombies are scary at the point where it's kind of like if you've got a really aggressive friend, you go, he's really aggressive, and you don't really like hanging out with him. But if you've got a creepy friend, then you will never hang out with him. Like a traditional vampire, slick back hair, and it's just kind of like, they're not scary. They're just kind of people they expect to be on registers, you know.
To be fair, though, we do fit the bill for kind of pale and creepy, so we could probably make really good Twilight vampires. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think because I've seen Shaun the Dead, which is a pretty good film. You know, at the end when the zombies try to integrate in society and stuff like that. This is where this is kind of stemmed from.
This is where it's come from.
Because
zombies
zombies
like pushing trolleys and stuff at the end of Shaun the Dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like zombies are pretty much built to do mundane tasks. Because I don't know.
Yeah, I know a few zombies.
Because
I work in an office.
No, we work at the civil service, which is just crazy because it's just sort of like you could just. Any zombie could do our job, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just repetitive.
Have you seen that episode of The Simpsons where Homer wants to get so fat that he can work from home, and he just has that like little bobbing like bird toy that just types from? That's kind of like our job, isn't it?
That is.
We shouldn't be saying this on there because they might stop paying us.
That's alright. You know, we do this and we don't get paid.
Yeah. If you want to just send money to my house, that'd be brilliant.
I'll accept food. Oh.
Food and love.
I think the reason I think people would prefer vampires over zombies is because vampires, for what essentially they are murderers, have been so romanticized. It's like pirates.
Yeah.
Sort of really romanticized. Sort of, you got like Mona the Vampire. It's like a child's cartoon and stuff.
Yeah.
However, there are no friendly zombies. And no pointers anyone ever went, well, maybe he's got a story to tell.
Maybe there's a gap in the market for a friendly zombie film.
I mean, I know people who've got less to say than zombies, and I
know people who smell like zombies.
We both do.
Yes. You're back with the issues on Anyone FM. So just remember that you can actually email into the show if you'd like, which is just by going on the website, which is www.anyoneFM.net, and clicking on the contact tab. You can actually text us also by starting your message with anyone to 60300. We've actually received another email from resident show pesterer Al. We always have a show pesterer every week. There's always one person who just...
I think it's because people are getting engrossed in the whimsy of us.
It's just a high of having your name read out on air. He's put for films that you could combine. He would combine... is there a film of Anne Frank? I mean, I'm familiar with the story. I don't know if it's... Anyway, he would combine Anne Frank with Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
That's a good concept.
So it's just pretty brilliant. Instead of hiding in the loft, she just hides in the wardrobe in Narnia.
It would make the diary a lot more interesting.
It would. What I think it's Ricky Gervais who said, like, I read Anne Frank diary, ended a bit abruptly, no sequel. Lazy. I love that guy. That's so good.
I'd love to see Aslan punch Hitler in the face as much as the next guy.
I don't think Hitler was personally gone around Anne Frank's house. Oh, shit. What's that noise upstairs? I don't think that was the case.
That's the thing. I think the Nazis would have caught a lot sooner.
I think he had bigger fish to fry. Jews. He had bigger Jews to fry.
I think if they heard it lying upstairs, they'd probably have caught her a bit earlier.
Yeah. What is that?
I mean, if they can just hear typing, then they'd probably just leave it. But if they hear like a lion and mice and with swords and stuff,
sounds like a zoo coming from the wardrobe.
They'd probably go, do you want to check upstairs? That's right.
Brilliant.
Before any people get offended, let's move on with the next issue.
Yes.
If inanimate objects could talk, then what would they say?
I like the idea of a football just screaming the whole match. Just really stop kicking me. That'll be brilliant.
Or could just actually do that. Just get a small child and
that sounds sinister. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I do personally hate children, but still, I like the idea of.
To any listeners, don't go around punting children. That's not okay.
Especially your own children, that will be taken away. The issue does not condone child abuse,
unless it's really, really funny.
Yeah.
I think I like the idea of having sort of sofas and stuff. Just sit on me. Not in a sexual way. Just the idea of a sofa just going, I can take the whole. Just
I like the idea with cutlery. Like, so it's like, put me in your mouth. or like every time you put your spoon in your like cereal, it starts making gurgling noises as if it's drowning.
Or like if he was saying like sort of like football scream, that'd be great. Like even with food, just like chopping a cucumber and just no. Like
basically, we just want things to be in pain. It would.
I know it's a very cynical show. I think. Do you know that feeling when you curse when you sort of bump into stuff? You bump into the table. And you stupid table.
Yeah.
I would just love the table. Go. Actually, it's your fault.
You walked in. I've been here for hours.
I've been standing still. You're an idiot.
I actually have a master's degree in carpentry. I made myself.
Oh yeah. Also, I think with men in sort of the internet browsing history, I think the laptop would sort of judge you a bit,
Really? Are you going to go on that site again? Don't you think you've got enough? Why are you always naked when you open the laptop?
Just the laptop just go, oh, come on, dude.
Not you again.
Dude.
I like when you go laptop shopping, they're all just shouting, pick me, as you walk, pick me!
And then you get your home and then they sort of come to the slow realisation that what they're doing is just seedy business. And I think eventually this has started happening with my friends. Like I'll ask my laptop, well not my laptop, no, but sort of Google like the most random questions, sort of like how quickly can a beaver build a dam and stuff like that.
Depends on the beaver.
I think but you can't put beaver into Google. No, but I think even my friends just every time I ask them a question, it's a little part of them dies because it's just sort of the if I asked every question I asked on Google to my friends, eventually they'd just leave us. For God's sake,
he has no friends because he just asks really weird things. I like the idea. I've got a friend, well, we both do from work, who just drinks Lucozade all day, every day.
Nicholas the Balls.
Yeah, the Balls. I just like the idea of when he goes to pick some Lucozade, that they're all like screaming, "Here he comes! It's the one who will be chosen!" And it's like a bit like that scene in Toy Story where like the aliens are getting picked by the big claw, and then when they finally get picked, it's really disappointing. They're like screaming as he's drinking them. He's drinking my essence.
I think people aren't in on the balls joke, but like the thing with Nick is he's a guy who's sort of he's behind sort of the managerial role.
Yeah.
He's like a sub manager and
a supervisor.
And because once the manager left him in charge of something, I called him the boss. This still carries on that day. This was like
very day.
It was like 2 months ago, and he doesn't even have to do anything. He just goes, "Oh, I'm going to the toilet."
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is what we're like every day, and he sits in the middle.
Yeah. So he'll say something like, "I'm going to the toilet," and we'll go like balls, just like for no reason other than it's amusing to us.
Yeah, we're pretty mature. I think it really comes across well on the show how mature we actually are. Back with the issues with Ben and Deage on 102.5 Anyone FM.
My bad. That was me being an absolute tool.
Oh, we are pretty professional at this. On the plus side, we don't get paid, so there's no
suck
excuses.
it, you know what I mean? What you really expect?
Don't offend our 3 listeners. That's not cool.
It's fine. You can hear the first second.
Just remember, if you are one of the 3 listeners and you do have access to the internet, you can email us. Do you see that little segue that I did there? You like that?
Smooth.
So yeah, you just go on the website, which is www.anyoneFM.net, and click on the contact tab. You can also text us by starting your message with the letters NE and the number 1, so anyone, to 60300.
I'm just going to consider the first 3 seconds of that song a teaser, if anything, you know?
Yeah, this is a teaser of what's to come.
Yeah.
So yes, the next issue we've got is if you could make up any word in the world, what would it be and what would it mean?
This is a particular favourite of mine because I do believe there's not enough words for because you know how in France they've got certain like expressions that express things that like pure just English words just can't. There's just feelings and stuff like that. But I like the idea that I could say something. The first word that I want to discuss is a word called flump dust. Right?
Flump dust.
You'd think you wouldn't know what it is, but you do. Do you know when you get a flump? Right?
It's literally the dust on the flump.
See? Yeah. And nobody has thought of this, right? This is a real word. This has to be a word. Flump dust. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. And talking of flumps, actually, the other day I was in the shop and I was walking past it. It's like an Asda, how they do the rollback thing.
Yeah.
I think they're like 10 pence for a flump.
Yeah.
And rollback from 10 pence to 9. Who's paying that? Who's going? Oh well,
who's paying 10 pence and waiting for the change? That's what I want to know. Do you think you can just buy flump dust on its own? Is this leading? You just want a tub of flump dust?
I would eat a tub of.
You would just put it on everything, wouldn't you? What's that on your hot dog? Flump dust.
And then people would initially go, "What's that?" And I go, "You know."
Don't pretend like you don't know. I would like to come up with the word tramped. Listen, to be like a tramp can also mean to be punched by a tramp. Listen, like, damn, he just got tramped. So, yeah,
homosexuals just off the top of my head, as a sort of homeless love.
Into homeless. I think whether they're homeless or not, it's not into homeless love. Is that when a homeless person has it with the person who isn't homeless?
That's exactly what it is.
Don't pretend like you don't know.
But the next word that I thought of was the inebriathought, right?
Okay.
I'll say inebriathought, or can be pronounced inebriathought if you. It's a cross between. It's that moment, when you're really drunk and you wake up in the morning and you have that thought that just changes your day.
What is wrong with you?
You tell me you've never flatulated and just felt like a new man.
Pump dust.
Yeah. Pump dust.
I went there.
I think sometimes that initial thing in the morning can just change your perspective about it. Because sometimes you wake up and you go, "Oh my God, I'm so hungover." But then that first initial thought,
it's like an out of body experience.
It changes perspective on the whole day.
Wow, you have some quite the days, really. I like the idea of actually shortening the word abbreviation because it's just too long for what it means, isn't it? It's just
Like,
they just call it abbrev.
Like monosyllabic, which means one syllable.
Yeah.
And ironically, it's got like 7.
Yeah. What is that about?
I like the. I've got a word that's going to be called premonition, right? Right. It's the. Do you know when it's like a cross between a premonition and disdain? Do you know when you see somebody and you have just just hatred for somebody that you've never talked to?
Yeah.
Like a guy who's wearing Toms. Every time I see a guy who's wearing Toms, my
Crocs. Crocs are pretty terrible.
yeah, it's just at that moment you see a douchebag and just think, I hate you. I don't know why.
I don't know you. You're probably a lovely person. I hate you.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, I'm quite a cynical person. For example,
No.
like, people think because I'm cynical, I'm pessimistic because that I'm not a nice person. The only difference is like when people say, "Well, would you help an old woman with her shopping?" Yeah, but the difference is I would resent that for asking her.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah, I'm like that. Like when there's someone behind you and it's like, I'm going to have to hold the door for this guy. He's not even going to say thank you.
It's that thing, when you're walking through the shop, like, and then you see an old woman in front of you, and you one side of your brain saying, well, she's old, she's having difficulty walking, it's not her fault she's so slow. But there's another part of your brain just goes, drop kick her now.
just punch her in the back of the head, no one will notice.
The final word that I thought of was scrisps, right? It's that bit. Do you know when you get to an end of
Genius.
The end
I know
of crisp?
exactly what you mean.
End of a crisp, and you get that sort of the flavour, and then you lick your finger,
Yeah,
and you're like,
God,
you get right in the corner.
That's going on Facebook. That's like we're making that as a group. Scrisps, make it a word.
It's because that's
they could just do a bag of that and that alone.
It's just flavouring. You just like.
I think you'll be getting a phone call from Walkers anytime soon.
That's no, you enjoy your crisps. This is a fact.
You have a real problem with this, don't you? You just always judge me while I eat crisps.
It's because you eat them erotically. It's not even funny. It's like you enjoy every handful.
I was going to say, if you do, what do you mean handful? I eat them with a knife and fork.
No, like some people eat a crisp. You get like 6 and just cram them into your face and enjoy it. Not even apologetic either.
It's the way they were meant to be enjoyed, and that's like like a pig smashed into your face.
So yeah, I would love for a listener to like email them with a new word, or indeed tweet or Facebook any of these words that have been said.
Yeah, I just think scrisps, touche, sir. That is brilliant.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll be using that from now on. It's like what's left. I've only got scrisps.
But exactly. See that? It's going to be a
brilliant.
thing. It's going to be a thing. Shall we listen to a song?
Yes, let's.
This is
the one that you heard the start of before.
The teaser.
Yeah,
This is Ben's song. It's called "Wonderful Life" by Hertz. I hope you enjoy.
You're back with the issues on 102.5 Anyone FM. That was Hertz with Wonderful Life, which is the most 80s, non-80s song
that was
in existence.
I actually feel like I have
I just like that song because it's so 80s, but they're not from the 80s. Well, they might have been born in the 80s, but it's not from that era. It's total air grab music, isn't it?
Are you having a disco flashback? Is that what
I am. It's just total air grab music. I was doing it in the studio, which was awkward because Deage was just like, "What's he doing? Why is he miming in my face?" So yes, just a quick reminder. I mean, I've only plugged it a million times, and I do it all the time. But you can email the show, unsurprisingly, by going on the website, which is www.anyonefm.net, and clicking on contact. You can also text us by starting your message anyone plus your message to 60300.
Would you like to continue with the next issue, Ben?
Yes, I very much would.
I think with this show, it's a lot. People, this is a very serious show. Obviously,
it is.
We're taking it very seriously, but we want to know. But what is the stupidest thing that you've ever seen or heard? Because, I say stupidity everywhere. So
every day. For me, it's actually a girl I work with called who we both work with called Sophie. And she has literally the worst tattoo ever. It's the perfect example of a bad tattoo. It's an Arabic tattoo. She doesn't speak Arabic.
I never got that.
No, I don't understand. If you can't speak Arabic, then I haven't got a problem with that. It's just, not just Arabic. It's Chinese. Just any other language. If it's not a language,
I'm not Arabic. I'm Chinese.
I'm the Chinese. No, just offending everyone. No, it's just that if you cannot speak it, you shouldn't get it tattooed on your skin. It's like she can tell you what it means in English. At least that's what she thinks it is, because she cannot read Arabic. She cannot pronounce her tattoo in Arabic. But even better than that, a tattoo says, it's on her foot, and it says, what goes around comes around, which is a tattoo perfectly designed to go, like, around a body part, like an ankle or a wrist. But instead, she just has it in a straight line. So it probably just says, Stupid girl got it in a straight line. Full stop.
I got this in a strange country and I'm going to regret it. That's exactly what her tattoo says. Personally, I see stupid everywhere. Like, I saw, especially kids. Why kids are just stupid things.
I don't know. I mean, kids have the excuse of being stupid because they're still learning.
They're essentially dogs that learn to talk. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I saw this kid on like a 3-wheel bike. You know, ones of them really hard plastic wheels.
Yeah.
And he's going down the cycle track.
A big wheeler.
And he thought, well, I can clearly mount the curb in this. Bang! Tries to do it. It just face plants the floor.
And like any mature grown up, you just laughed and didn't help.
Yeah, that's the parents came over. I'm standing laughing over the child on the floor. They're like, "What's happened here?"
I mean, I'm 25, so you know I'm definitely classed as an adult, and it's one of those things where it's like if I'm in Asda and a child falls over in front of us, bursts his nose, I should do the grown-up thing and pick him up and make sure he's all right. And if his parents aren't around, I should take him to the kiosk. But instead, I will just go like, "Oh, he face planted. You see that? Come and see that. Did they get that on the CCTV camera? Come and watch that in replay."
You been framed and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm a terrible human.
My brother had a taste for stupid women.
Taste for stupid. Actually, it's not the other way around.
But we had this girlfriend. I won't say her name. Well, Sam. But we were watching. It was when the Narnia film first came out.
Yeah.
And this man, obviously in the studio, it was like a T4 special. And he came in. This horse had a horn glued to its head, and I kid you not, she turned to me in the middle of this and went, "Is that a real unicorn?" And I just looked at her like,
"No, it's an imposter."
I went, "Unicorns aren't real." And she went, They live in the mountains."
You've never been to Unicorn Mountain?
It's just like how socially ignorant do you have to be? The other thing, well, I used to go to school at sixth form, and you know me, I do get quite sort of annoyed about people who don't see my way. I'm so they see my way or just don't exist. There was a girl called Emma.
Yeah.
And Emma was sort of the kind of girl who just kind of jumps on the bandwagon. And there was this other girl called Catherine, who was a creationist.
Yeah.
Which initially is a bit of a culture clash, because I was trying to go, well, why don't you get evolution? But no, evolution's just a theory. I was just like, well, no, like the Earth going around the sun, that's
just like saying that's
a theory.
Sort of going, well, the Bible's just a book.
But Emma jumped on the bandwagon of Catherine, and cause she was getting sort of dead aggressive because I was getting a bit upset by it. I was just like, no, evolution is not. It's proven. It's like a proven thing.
Yeah. And
eventually Emma went, well, if evolution's real, then how come there's still monkeys?
Oh God, I hate when people say.
And
that.
I was just like, well, no, you've clearly not understood anything in life, have you? I just imagine this girl eating glitter and falling over a lot now, you know.
I don't like that as an excuse, the whole monkeys thing. You know, I think it needs to be cleared up in the public lexicon that we evolved alongside monkeys.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't come from monkeys. The monkeys that you see today. You couldn't just shave a gorilla. Well, maybe on construction sites, but I mean, you couldn't just shave a gorilla and kick him into society.
That's a Ben take make out with the hardest people in the industry. Yeah,
that's all right. I mean, the relative safety of it.
The studio.
I think the studio.
The last I think other thing was my I don't think certain people aren't stupid, but they say stupid things. There's like a knowledge gap. I remember we were sitting at a family barbecue once. My uncle David was convinced that Portugal was in Spain. It was like a city in Spain, and it wasn't just like we had to correct him; we had to convince him.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I know you're pointing at an atlas, but you could have had this fixed. You're back with the issues on 102.5 Anyone FM.
Have we got an email, Ben?
Yes, we have. Saying, oh dear, how many people do you want to come after you today, Deage? At least try and make up a fictional name. Good show though, lads.
I think it's from me, man.
I think it is.
It's quite lovely though.
That's nice. It's like, good show, like, you can't do no wrong.
Pat and eyes and pat on the back, you know.
But she's actually genuinely concerned for your health and safety there.
I think we're going to do one more issue and then play a song.
Yes.
And I think the next issue today is, if you could train a parrot to say anything, what would it be?
Awkward things. I would like it just to make it awkward, just like, help me. I like, call the RSPCA. Help, they touch me when you leave. Yeah. Or like just one on someone's shoulder going, I'm not called Polly and he's not a pirate.
I love this, like, mate, say, like, "Hey Dave, I'm talking to you," and just wait for the guy who's actually called Dave. It would take ages, and then
It's a slow burner, but the payoff is really worth it.
But I think the best thing about parrots is you can't just train them to have their own voice. If you could train them to have like Samuel L. Jackson's voice, that'd be great. You know,
That would take some time, but be
or even
totally
Morgan
worth it.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman's voice.
Yes, we'll just make a parrot talk Morgan Freeman and then just leave it.
For hours, just on repeat.
Or we could get a parrot and train it to like tell people it's from a different planet and it's trapped in an animal's body. I'm Zygothor.
Psycho. Convince it that's just an actual person. Oh, tell my family I love them.
I think there's like certain things on Facebook, on Facebook, on YouTube, where like men have trained parrots to say like sort of really.
Sounds so sinister the way you said that. Men have trained.
Parrots to do sinister things.
Yeah, like you've got like some sort of like parrot assassin who's just like.
It's like the trainer that like say swear words, but there was this one man who his parrot's pretty much got Tourette's, and but he's Scottish. The parrot swears in Scottish, and it's absolutely great because it's one of the
I
most.
never thought about that because obviously they're mimicking, but you know you don't really think about it. But yeah, there'll be parrots with like different accents, like an Irish parrot.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I would train it. It would definitely be a Scottish accent, I think, or a really hard to understand accent.
I like the idea of Scottish being like kind of an aggressive language, but being said in a high pitched parrot voice.
Great. Or train it to do the sort of the movie line voice. Welcome to movie line. If you want to sort of watch 300, press 1. But make it talk like that all the time. Absolutely great. I don't know, Ben. I think
we're unfortunately at the end of our show. Pretty much.
I've really enjoyed talking.
Yeah, it's been
a
a lovely day. It's been a good Friday. Jokes.
God.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to be back. It's going to be 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
probably.
something like that. Please do follow it on Facebook.
We're going to try to get a guest next time, aren't we?
Yes, I think resident show pastor Al McWilliam will be coming onto the show.
But yes, please do find our page on Facebook and like it. It's called The Issues with Ben and Deage, and we'd much appreciate it. Have you got any gigs coming up, Ben?
On Saturday, I will be at Trent House, which is in Newcastle.
And I think we're both standing up and making you laugh at Laughterholics on the 13th.
Yes,
at the Westwall Pub.
Yeah.
So great. I've enjoyed the day, Ben. Yes. How about yourself?
Thanks for listening and enjoy your Easter weekend.
Well, this will play out with a great tune. This is I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor by the Arctic Monkeys. Enjoy.